it is the kind of fraud that if it were happening in a significant amount, you would have stories about it because people would be finding out when they went to vote somebody had already voted in their name, or somebody who worked in the precinct who knows Joe Blow who died last year would say, well, you're not Joe Blow. So this kind of thing, if hundreds of people were voting under somebody else's name every year, you'd have dozens of reports of this kind of fraud. And the facts are, this kind of fraud doesn't occur absent just an occasional eccentric person anywhere in the country, because it's a totally inefficient way to actually affect an election. If you're trying to be a fraudfeasor that's going to try to swing an election, you want to be on the inside, or you want to have access to the voting machines. You want to have something other than a bunch of other co-conspirators, each of whom is assigned an identity and a signature match they have to learn, and they go in and they try to pretend there's somebody else to swing an election.
I think we presented a strong and persuasive case for the need for Indiana's voter ID law. In Indiana, we have problems with voter fraud, in particular in Lake County, where we've been able to prosecute several cases. And when citizens see that kind of fraud, they assume it happens all over. And when there's a glaring hole in the election security process that can be fixed by a reasonable measure that citizens are used to having to deal with on a day-to-day basis anyway, such as presenting a driver's license or other form of photo identification at the polls, that's a reasonable step to take. And consistent with the Constitution, to protect the right to vote. It's important to remember that. Laws such as these protect citizens' rights to vote. And that's the message I think that really needs to get across today.